Hello, my name is Peter Dunsmore, and in this video series I'm going to show you the techniques I used to make this box. This is an old dovetail spline cutting jig that's been used in this workshop for some time now. As you can see, it's only made of some 12mm MDF. The dimensions aren't critical, but it's approximately 400mm long. The shelf supports are about 200mm long, and these are about 120mm long, depending on whereabouts you're going to secure it in the jig. The important thing is that the box is supported in here, in this part. So this must be at 90 degrees to support the box on the side you're cutting. Very simply, the way it works, as you can see, I've put 3 slots underneath here to suit different size cutters, but the shaft of most cutters is 1/4 inch, so I've put in a 12mm wide slots, so I can actually fit a cutter through here on the table. Now the theory is the jig fits on the router table with the cutter sticking through the slot. And as you can see here, the cutter protrudes just through into the corner, like that. And then you slide the jig across the table, only about 50mm or so, just enough for the cutter, as it's rotating, to cut through the corner of the box. As you can see, depending on the box I'm making, I've got a much bigger slot there for a much bigger cutter. But what I'll do now is I'll take you through the very simple step-by-steps how to make another jig like this. As I said, this isn't critical distances or measurements, but if we draw a line approximately 200mm from the end, and then set the saw to 45 degrees and cut across at 45 degrees like this. There we go. And then marry these two up together on top, so they form a point, and then use that as a guide. If we now cut along this line here, you end up with 2 identical pieces. So we set the saw up to 90 degrees now. And this has now made what will be the 2 box support pieces that will stand on the base. Well, we've put the first box support side in place, and it's important that it's at 45 degrees to the base of the jig that we're making. And as you can see, it's well supported here. That's glued and screwed in place. What's more important is to get this piece here at right angles to each other, because when the box is placed in this jig, it wants to be supported on both sides, both corners. So if we hold this here, like so, that's forming a nice 90-degree angle. We can put this support piece in here and hold it temporarily in place. Like that. And put a wee mark along the bottom here. Like that. Now if we draw a right angle along here, and then drill some pilot holes through here. Then we can glue and screw this together. If we just put a waste piece underneath, then it stops damaging the drill bit onto the saw table. There we are. That's it. We'll screw the vertical support piece in place. Nice and tight. And just before you drive in the second one, just check it's at right angles to the base. Yep, that's fine. Drive in the second screw. Right, having screwed this piece in place, let's just place the support shelf in. Check that it's at 90 degrees, and that's spot on. So what we'll now do is apply some adhesive to the bevel, and to the lower bevel. Press down firmly. Final check, 90 degrees. So we can leave that aside to dry. And we'll come back to it later on. I'm Peter Dunsmore. Thank you for watching this episode. See you next time.